Monday morning. Jason and Alicia here with you. Beautiful weekend. At least Sunday was beautiful.
Coming off a great Sunday.
Yes.
Not only did the Vikings win, we had sunshine. It was so nice, John.
2-4, never been happier than a 2-4 Vikings. Listen, today it's a cool start. We talked about the sunshine yesterday. It's going to give you a chilly morning, so go ahead and put the jackets on. It is kind of a shed the layer type day today. We're running out of those days. Obviously, you're not going to shed the layers at some point here. I think today and tomorrow going to be warm in the afternoon. 40 degrees as you're heading out there. Northwest winds 5 miles an hour. Very quiet. I just don't feel like it feels, when I'm in the backyard, it doesn't feel this cold in the 40s and 30s. We do have some 30s. Maybe I'd think differently if I'm in Cambridge. 30 degrees. We're below freezing right now. Across the state, 29 in Grand Rapids, 33 in Brainerd. We have some 40s because it's cloudy, and if it's warmer in the morning, it has always been colder in the afternoon. That is going to be the case. You got cloud cover out there. Nothing right now in the cities, and you can see most of the state is sunny today. So sunshine dominates the forecast. Beautiful start to the week at 55 degrees. Enjoy it. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. We're looking at the Forest Lake Split right now, not too far from that area. Drive times in that area are looking really good this morning. So about an 11-minute commute from the Split to 694 on 35W, and then 35E from the Split to 694 is about a 9-minute commute. So looking really good. Once you get to the Twin Cities, again, Minneapolis to St. Paul on 94, about a 7-minute commute. Reverse direction heading westbound, about a 7-minute commute this morning. And no crashes to report at the moment, Jason.
Always good news. Always a great way to start your Monday, Megan. Thank you. Developing right now as we speak, thousands of Israeli soldiers are at the Gaza border.
They're preparing for a coordinated invasion against Hamas that could happen at any moment. And it comes as Palestinians are rushing to move south to get out of harm's way. And take a look at this new video we just got in overnight when Egypt opened its border with Gaza. Now foreign passport holders from the war-torn area are crossing into Egypt through Rafah. NBC's Ellison Barber is at the Israel-Gaza border with the very latest.
Overnight, this section of the Israel-Gaza border was relatively calm, other than a few pockets here and there of the boom of artillery in the direction of Gaza. We've seen military equipment moving through this area. That's been the case the last couple of nights, but so far no indication that that expected ground assault by Israel into northern Gaza has begun. We have heard drones flying overhead throughout the night. We have heard the sound of fighter jets overhead. And again, we have seen military equipment moving towards the direction of Gaza and a fairly large and consistent presence of Israeli troops throughout this area. Israel's Defense Forces says they have called up over 300,000 reservists, and the majority of them are at the border with Gaza, preparing to launch the next phase of this war. They have said they will attack Hamas from the air, by sea, and also from land. They say that ultimately the goal for Israel is to make sure that Hamas no longer has any sort of military capabilities. Back to you.
The images are just heartbreaking. Now, inside Gaza, a dire humanitarian crisis continues to grow.
CC is live in Minneapolis, where in 2 hours there will be a rally to demand a ceasefire. CC.
Hi, good morning, guys. You're exactly right. In a couple of hours, there's going to be Minnesota Jews Against Genocide March. And we know that there's going to start at Gold Medal Park and then march all the way to Senator Amy Klobuchar's office to demand her support in this. We know this morning that they'll start off by praying and then delivering an open letter signed by hundreds of Minnesota Jews calling for de-escalation, humanitarian aid, and a ceasefire in Gaza. This rally comes after a weekend full of demonstrations, just like this one you're seeing. Demonstrators rallying in Uptown in support of Palestine. You can see people carrying signs that read "Free Palestine" and "End U.S. aid to Israel." The peaceful crowd you see rallied in March, many as families. Now, just a couple of hours ago, we did reach out to Senator Amy Klobuchar's office just to get a statement about what's happening today and also what's happening overseas. We're still waiting at this point to hear back. Guys.
All right, CC Gaines reporting live for us. Thanks for that update. Thank you.
We are learning new details about the Israel-Hamas war every hour. After sunrise, the Today Show is bringing you complete team coverage with new information from the region.
Now to an update in last week's shootout that left 5 officers hurt in northern Minnesota. 64-year-old Carl Holmberg of Benton County is now charged with attempted murder of the 5 Sherburne County Drug Task Force officers who were trying to execute a search warrant at his house. Authorities arrested him after an hours-long standoff last Thursday night. The criminal complaint says Holmberg told his wife that it was his day to die and called her a coward for not helping him shoot the police. All of the officers are expected to recover.
We are now 1 full month into the massive United Auto Workers strike. And this morning we're hearing from a worker on the picket line about the toll that the strike is taking on him and so many others.
I got bills to pay, so I don't love being out here, but I got to think in long terms, my future. So yeah, fair wages sounds pretty good right now.
So this morning, NBC News is reporting negotiations are ongoing with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, but the two sides are still far apart. Ford says they've offered everything that they can. As of Friday, the union did not announce an expansion of the strike, but says more walkouts could happen at any time.
6:06 is your time. Taking live from the U.S. Capitol this morning, where in a matter of hours, there will be a vote on the House floor for a new speaker. Ohio GOP Representative Jim Jordan is the front runner after he was nominated by Republicans. But the path to speaker won't be easy. Jordan is short more than 50 votes. Today is the 13th day the House of Representatives has been without a speaker, leaving legislative action in limbo. As you get ready to leave for work this afternoon, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett will be speaking at the U of M. The law school invited the conservative justice for a conversation they say will cover a wide variety of issues. Protesters are expected outside of Northrop Auditorium, where she's going to be speaking. One online petition has more than 670 signatures calling for Barrett to be uninvited.
Minnesota's drought is drastically improving thanks to this weekend's rain, but for some farmers, it's hurting their harvest season. They say they can't start collecting their crop until the rain stops and the fields dry out. The rain has been especially hard on the apple harvest, causing the popular Honeycrisp to start to crack and spoil.
So then the trees absorb that extra water, put it into the fruit, and then they split open because the skin physically cannot stretch any farther.
As for pumpkins, there's a bumper crop, but the rain made for soggy stems that can break easily. And the high winds are also knocking over drought-stricken corn stalks that the Department of Agriculture says are experiencing some of the worst conditions across the state in the last 5 years.
This morning, the 2-4 Vikings are sitting in third place in the NFC North after a crucial win against the Bears.